Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin. Let's quickly get into this whole Josh Norman Carolina Panthers bullshit. Now, first, I'm gonna get into the specifics. Josh Norman was franchise tagged at the end of the season. Then recently they rescinded that, made him an unrestricted free agent, and quickly within a day or two, he was signed by the Washington Redskins for, I have it written down, let me see, $36.5 million guaranteed, a lot of money. 5 years, $75 million, and a $15 million signing bonus. There was some other specifics, but who gives a shit? He's no longer a Carolina Panther. Why? It's simple. Gettleman is fucking cheap. You look at free agency, he never brings in the players that, he never fills the needs of the team. It's possible to do this through the draft. I feel as though the NFL, you can definitely do that through the draft. But free agency is huge. Free agency is huge, especially if you bring in the guys that fit your system. And he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. There were some free agents out there. You had issues at offensive line. You had issues at receiver. Even though Kelvin Benjamin's coming back, you still had issues. Wasn't fixed. And it just shows how cheap he is. And, not re-signing an impact player like Josh Norman, I feel as though it's ridiculous. You see how much money the Redskins gave him. I don't think Carolina would have had to give him that much. I know he was asking for, I assume, more than they were offering him. But I feel as though they could have got him cheaper than that. Just because this team's been to the Super Bowl. He knows this team can be successful. So he's probably not going to take as much. You go to a Redskins team, the Redskins are going to pretty much threw so much money that he couldn't refuse. And he didn't. He signed on with them. They got a good player. Not going to trash Norman. Like a lot of fans, when a player leaves a team, not going to trash him. Great player. Last 2 or 3 years, one of the best corners in football. And this was against guys like Julio Jones, Odell Beckham. So he was playing against quality guys in the regular season. He played amazing in the playoffs. And I feel as though when I first saw the franchise tag, I was like, yes, this is a guy that they cannot afford to lose. I remember talking about this in another video. I believe it was on Blitz Sports Network. I remember talking about, okay, they have to keep this guy. He was one of the notable free agents, or guys set to be a free agent. Saw the franchise tag. I was like, yes, so they can work out a deal. Hell no, who does that? Take away the franchise tag? I believe they was gonna pay him. I want to say it's $10 million or something like that for this season. And Gettleman just said, "Oh no, let's pull the plug on that. Let's make him a free agent." What did he expect? So he was not willing to pay him? Then who are you willing to pay? Okay, Luke Kuechly. Of course, Cam Newton. Cam Newton's a quarterback. Quarterbacks are the biggest draw. They're going to make you the most money. So, of course, those are going to be the guys who get the big bucks. I mean, that's what people have to understand about the NFL now. Those guys make the teams the most money. They make the league the most money. That's why there's so many rules put in place to protect them. They make the NFL a lot of money. Okay, But then what about the other guys, the other impact players? Luke Kuechly, your Thomas Davis, who's obviously getting older, but still playing really good football. And you got guys like Norman. What about when Starlo Tulele or K'Wan Short, Dewan Edwards? What about when these guys are free agents? Connie Ely, if he can keep up even close to his play, the way he played in the Super Bowl throughout the course of a regular season, he's going to be a huge impact player. Are you going to be willing to pay those guys? What about Kelvin Benjamin? He becomes a free agent. What about Greg Olsen, who's another player who's getting older? You can be willing to pay him. And it just seems like he wants to get players at a discount. And, this is still Carolina. It's a small market. You're not the fucking New England Patriots. New England Patriots have a winning culture. They're able to get these guys cheap. You're in a bigger market in, the Boston area. So, they're going to be able to get these guys at a discount. And a lot of guys that go to that team, the Patriots are always in the playoffs. So, they know they're going to get to the playoffs. And Carolina's trying to make this a consistent thing of getting to the playoffs. And they're not doing themselves any favors. You saw all the issues in that Super Bowl. I talked about this earlier. You saw all the issues in that Super Bowl. You get to the offseason where your job as owner, of course, is to pay the guys. But the GM, your job is to bring in the talent, fill those holes in both free agency, retaining players if you got players that are free agents, and in a draft, trades or whatever. But the draft, I believe the draft has already come up, but they didn't do any of that. Right? It's especially the free agent part, and they never do anything in free agency because they're cheap. So let me know what you think down in the comment section. Just thinking about it fucking pisses me off. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. How do you think Josh Norman's going to fit in Washington? And I already know how you're going to answer this one. Is Gettleman a dumbass for letting him walk? But basically nothing. They gave us a bunch of BS excuses. We couldn't make this trade, which could very well be true. Whether he would have to sign a contract and all that. I still think you keep the franchise tag. You try to work out a deal throughout the regular season, so you could possibly keep him. No, you do none of that. But I think I'm done fucking talking about it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.